morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice for radio. So today, we are looking at some Pokemon news, and the biggest news, at least for the moment, the most exciting news, is that we know that we are getting a Blastoise GX. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Blastoise GX, it's a-coming. It's a-coming. Now, we do not have a full image of Blastoise GX, and therefore we do not have a full translation of Blastoise GX. But the lovely Tunu1223 has provided what he believes is a partial translation, and that's enough to work on. Although we are going to look at some other news in this video, we're going to look at Blastoise, but there's a couple other lovely newsy tidbits. If you want to know what they are, go to the description. There are timestamps. So Blastoise then, what do we know about it? Well, it's kind of cool that it's getting a GX. We've not seen a Venusaur GX yet, but we have seen a Charizard. And the thing is, Blastoise is a little bit left out at the moment because we've got Celebi and Venusaur Tag Team GX coming, and we know that we are going to be getting a Reshiram and Charizard Tag Team GX. But we're not getting, as far as we know at the moment, and it may well change in the future, but as it stands at the moment, we're not getting a Blastoise Tag Team GX, which is a little bit sad. Having said that, Blastoise and Charizard are playable in Pokken Tournament, whereas Venusaur isn't, so maybe Venusaur's the one that should be upset. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a Blastoise GX, and it's about gosh darned time. Now, it's got 240 HP, which is up there with Decidueye. It's not on the highest end of Tag Team GXs, that's stuff like Metagross and Charizard himself with 250, but it's still pretty high. It is a water Pokemon, and water Pokemon are good at the moment. We've got Brooklet Hill to search them out. We've got Aqua Patch to accelerate energy. We've got the combination of Naganadel and Quagsire to accelerate energy. Naganadel to attach it to itself, and Quagsire to move it to the active. And then, of course, we're hitting weakness on Blacephalon, which is one of the very best attackers in the game at the moment. And frankly, we're left in a situation where, yeah, being a water Pokemon right now is phenomenal. Now, what we have here is an ability and two attacks. And the ability is one of these that reduces damage done by attacks. Now, we don't know exactly what it will be, but given that we got Sizzle recently, that's got an ability that reduces damage done by 30... in fact, that came in Lost Thunder. That was very recent. And we know we're getting Melmetal GX, whose ability reduces damage done by 30. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it reduces damage done by 30. So the 240 HP starts looking a little bit beefier. So that's quite nice. We have an attack for 2 water energy. And although we can't see it exactly, if you look at the position of the 1 water energy we can see, it's clearly the second energy symbol. Coloured always come before colourless, so the attack cost has to be 2 water energy. And it does some damage for each something. And it seems to be that you can shuffle any amount of water energy from your Pokemon into your deck, and this does some damage for each card you shuffled back in this way. So you attach a whole bunch of water energy to your Pokemon, and then you attack with Blastoise GX to shuffle that energy back and do a whole bunch of damage in the process. And this is absolutely phenomenal, and part of the reason why it's so phenomenal is the Blastoise that's coming in Team Up. You see, the Blastoise that's coming in Team Up, it is going to be in the theme decks. I've done a video about that. I'll pop a link in the description. We know that that Blastoise has a Redonk ability whereby you can look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach as much water energy there as you find to your Pokemon in any way that you like. The thing is, if you shuffle all your water energy back into your deck, then that means that you're going to get more water energy in your deck relative to non-water energy. So first of all, you do a bunch of damage, and that's lovely. And secondly, you're basically just putting a whole bunch of energy back in your deck, ready to then accelerate using the other Blastoise, which is pretty gosh darned ridiculously awesome. I really like, if it is what we think it is, and we don't have a full translation, we don't have a clear image, so there's no guarantee at the moment, but if it is what we think it is, then it's absolutely wonderful, and there is a ridiculous combo going on here between the Blastoise from Team Up and Blastoise GX. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the GX attack, we haven't got a gosh darned clue. It is apparently called Big Geyser GX. So, you know, that's nice. But that is really all we know at this stage. Yeah, I'd love to bring you more information. So at the moment, I'm optimistic about Blastoise. What we have with Blastoise is this Pokemon with a fairly high HP, which reduces damage done to it, which has an attack which combos beautifully with the existing Blastoise that we're going to be getting in Team Up, well, in about 2 weeks' time, just under 2 weeks' time as you listen to this. Assuming you're watching it when I upload it. If you're watching it in a few months' time, hey, that Blastoise that's out. How good was that, eh? That Blastoise actually has been winning tournaments over in Japan. I'll pop a link in the description to show my working. So we like the Blastoise. The Blastoise is very nice indeed, and it's about gosh darn time. But there are a couple other bits of news that I needed to show you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. So what we have here is Mr. Mime GX. Now, Mr. Mime GX is coming. And you might think, well, hang on a second, Wassy, didn't we already get Mr. Mime? Yes. Yes, we did. The thing is, we got the Magic Evens Mr. Mime, and now we're getting the Magic Odds Mr. Mime. The difficulty was that over in Japan, the Magic Evens Mr. Mime was just released in a set, but the Magic Odds Mr. Mime was released as a League promo, and the way we get League promos is a little bit awkward. It's kind of all over the place. Sometimes they come in their own boxes, think Beware. Sometimes, like Alolan Raticate, we have to wait a long time, but like a year, but then they get put into one of our regular sets. Whereas when we're looking at Mr. Mime here, you know what? It's taken a little while to get here, but it has at least gotten here. So that's rather nice. I mean, it's the same as the other Mr. Mime. It just blocks odd numbers. Now, to be clear, there's no such thing as an odd number of damage in the Pokemon trading card game. All the damage ends in 10, but we're talking in terms of damage counters, not including the 0, however you want to say it. Unless your opponent gets up to 270, from 270 upwards, Mr. Mime does not block the damage. Mr. Mime will only block the damage up to 250. After 250, Mr. Mime does not block the damage. That is rather important to point out. So now we got the Magic Evens Mr. Mime, which blocks all those even numbers, and the Magic Odds Mr. Mime, which blocks all of those odd numbers. Now, on the one hand, hit and run Pokemon, think Donphan from Plasma Storm. Love me that Donphan. Or even the Speed Form Deoxys that we got not too long ago. That hit and go to the bench. They can use these as wall Pokemon, and that's really nice. The problem is, and it is a significant problem, Choice Band. Once Choice Band rotates out, these Mr. Mime are going to be an awful lot better. But until it rotates out, you can turn any attack against a GX from an odd to an even by popping a Choice Band on. Now, you might not have enough Choice Band, and that might be a problem. Or your opponent might field blower it and then that's gone away. It's not ideal, but Choice Band really does make these two Mr. Mimes less relevant. When Choice Band rotates out, though, I'll give you a shout. The other news which is really interesting to me, we know we're getting Tag Team GXs in tins, but the designs of the tins are new. So these are the same tins we've been getting for a while. You get booster packs, you get a promo card. Except now that they're Tag Team GXs, the designs of the tins have been changed. Now, I don't have the details on the dimensions, but I'm assuming that these are definitely bigger in terms of surface area. I am assuming they will be shallower, because essentially you'll have the GX card, and then next to it, you'll have all of the packs. So I think these are going to be fairly shallower, which does make sense in terms of stacking them up on shelves and all of that. These are cool. I really like these. Now, they are the alternate artworks. The Celebi and Venusaur clearly redonkulous art, and they're not Mitsuhiro Arita, and I've made it quite clear how I feel about the Mitsuhiro Arita art on these Tag Team GXs, and you can love the alternate art or not, but these tins are really good. They're They're new. And I don't know, maybe it's because they're different, although the actual artwork on the tin of the Snorlax and Eevee, oh my goodness, it's amazing. So we've got a new lot of tins. They're coming out soon, and they've got a new design. And they are the same tins we've been having for a while. They're just a different design, and that makes me rather happy indeed. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that's the news you need to know about today. Blastoise GX is looking pretty good. Of course, the second we have a clear image and a translation, I will run to a computer to bring you that video. We are getting the Magic Odds Mr. Mime, which is very nice indeed. And these new tins are looking rather tasty. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to know what you think about this news. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk Transformers and Keyforge and all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.